Hello, every pony, and welcome to Omnitrix Radio, Episode 2. I am your host, Demigloom, pronouns she, her, joined as always by my co-host, Riely. What's up, Riely?
Now, you see, Demigloom, I have some notes on your intro there.
All right, fuck you, first of all.
You see, you had it right after the intro itself. Like, when you're introducing yourself and me, you had the amount of enthusiasm right, but when you did the intro for the show itself, you were like, welcome to Omnitrix Radio. Hey, the hello.
Well, okay, I'll redo it then, if you really have a fucking problem. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Episode 2 of Omnitrix Radio, your favorite Ben 10 watch-along podcast. I'm your host, Demigloom, pronouns she, her, joined as always by Riely, my co-host. What up, Riely?
What is up, everybody? Welcome to Episode 2! Yeah!
It's
a fucking intro I could live with.
All right, so, what do we talk about first on this show? How does this work?
We read comments.
We read comments. All right, I can do that. First comment comes from Ellie, who says, "Holy shit, I wasn't expecting this. Let's go." By the way, or by the by, which I think they meant to say by the way, I would try either one, to be honest. Who knows? It could be good. Though I definitely go for the lamb tongue. Let's be real. It's just meat. I'm happy to try it. Also, I know y'all didn't ask, but my favorite character within the first 2 episodes is Max, with a little smiley face. Ellie is a long-time Riely fan, if I'm not mistaken, right? About 2 weeks now.
Yeah, long time.
Long time. Ellie watched our Let's Plays, right?
Yeah, Ellie watched the Ben 10 Protector of Earth Let's Plays. They were super into them. They asked for us to play the Ben 10 Alien Force game just because they wanted more Ben 10 once we were done with Protector of Earth. But I mean, now they have this podcast, so either way, you're gonna get more Ben 10. I think I'm still on the. I think I'm gonna convince Demigloom. Demigloom probably doesn't think so right now, but I will eventually convince her. We're gonna play the Ben 10 Pokemon ROM hack. It's gonna happen.
We're definitely not gonna do the Ben 10 Alien Force game. I don't think the viewers are. I don't think the viewers are aware, but we played a little bit of Ben 10 Alien Force off camera, and it was fucking awful. It was unplayable garbage. Fuck Ben 10 Alien Force, the video game.
You see, I think your Descent, not on Alien Force, I'm talking about something else now, but your Descent clouded my first impression going back into Cosmic Destruction. I think I might want to try that again.
I don't know about that. We did play Cosmic Destruction as well.
And we played it for like 10 minutes, and Demi was like, "This is awful," and I was like, "Maybe you're right," because I was listening to her saying how awful it was.
You were like, "No, this is good," and then like 5 minutes in, you were like, "Okay, yeah, this is shit."
I'm gonna try it again on my own, and if I decide it's actually good, I'm gonna make Demigloom sit through it once we're done with Protector of Earth.
Okay, whatever. Anyways, next comment comes from Deadly Pizza. The early 2000s cartoons were all I watched as a kid. TMNT 2003, Ben 10, Generator Rex, Danny Phantom, Yu-Gi-Oh!, 5DS, Huntic, and Transformers. It is all good to me.
5Ds.
Oh, it's 5Ds?
Yeah.
This isn't a D's nuts joke? It's
5Ds? I could have said 5Ds nuts, but no, it actually is 5Ds.
Oh, okay. It's super cool seeing how others grew up with it too. Definitely looking forward to more. Thank you, Deadly Pizza. Do you have a favorite cartoon of this sort of variety, Riely? Like, if you had to pick one right now, could you?
I mean, it'd be a tough pick between like 4 of them, but if I had to make the call, it's between Ben 10, Danny Phantom, Spectacular Spider-Man, and American Dragon Jake Long. But if I had to make the call between the 4 of those right now, probably Spectacular Spider-Man.
Understandable. For me, it's obviously Ben 10. Ben 10 is just my
And the last comment is from...
It's from Demigloom's mic cutting out and fucking up. And we're going to have to use the Craig backups. It's from...
Wait, why are we going to have to use the
Never mind. Don't worry about it. We'll talk about it later. Jaden Gunton says, "Wow, it's really Game Grumps." What? How are we Game Grumps?
I mean, I feel like this has to have been meant for a Protector of Earth episode.
Yeah, but like, how would that make us Game Grumps? Just because we do a Let's Play that gets
Because
like
we're a
trimmed
duo
down?
that do a let's play and we're good, I guess.
I don't think Game Grumps or Riley and Friends are good Let's Play content.
No. Game Grumps is fucking great.
Game Grumps sucks. You know how I feel about Game Grumps. I'm
You
not a
can
big
say it
fan.
sucks all you want. Like at the same like things are not people's cup of teas, but you gotta. Game Grumps has millions of adoring fans and has been going for 10 years and still has a lot of traction. And like, Game Grumps is quoted everywhere on the internet and has inspired countless YouTubers. So like, I think
Yeah,
objectively, Game
well,
Grumps is very good.
listen, Riley, your mom has millions of fans, and they're her
Oh,
only
whoa,
fans.
whoa! Ah!
But anyways, that's all the comments. We do have this. Why did I say that in a British accent? We do have the straw poll. The straw poll. Let me just pull that up real quick. Actually, I'm really dumb and didn't pull it up. We have the comment question of the day was: would you rather eat marinated mealworms or smoked sheep's tongue, or rather, which between the two sounded more appetizing? And I'm stupid, and I accidentally voted, but I voted for marinated mealworms, and one other person voted for smoked sheep's tongue. So I think smoked sheep's tongue won because it's the only real vote.
Yes, good job, Smoked Sheep's Tongue. That was my vote too.
Not that you actually voted on the straw poll like I
No, no,
did.
no, 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 no. Like it's that's my answer to the question.
Yeah. I don't know. I honestly, marinated mealworms, I'd probably go with them. I feel like I could just like swallow them like pills with some water. Smoked
Like
sheep's tongue like would be
it's
much more
not you have
difficult.
to finish the whole thing, is you have to try it. And I feel like Smoked Sheep's Tongue might be good.
I don't know, man. I
Like
just
it
like
sounds unappetizing, but I'd like to take a bite just out of curiosity.
I couldn't.
Marinated mealworms, it's like I know this is going to be an awful experience.
I don't know.
Like even if they taste good technically, I know the texture and like just the stigma of it being worms will just make me want to fucking throw up and die.
Well, Riley, I think we know what we have to do.
We have to eat both of these things.
Yeah, we have to try marinated mealworms and smoked sheep's tongue. What about
Put it on the spin of consequence.
if we if we get 1,000 subscribers, we have to do it. How about that?
Okay. I don't know
Uh,
how we would get our hands on these items, or at least on a smoked sheep's tongue.
I'm sure we could figure it out. I'll also have a car by the time you have 1,000 subscribers. So
I don't know. Listen, that Breaking Bad video could hit the algorithm again at any time.
I
That
don't
could
know,
happen.
man.
I could have 1,000 subscribers next week. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but the way the YouTube algorithm works, it can just like suddenly be like, oh, this video, let's put it in everybody's recommended 5 months after it came out.
Well, I didn't say we have to do it immediately, but if you do reach 1,000 subscribers, that is something we'll have to do. Can we agree to that?
Understandable. Yes.
Okay. That'll be your 1,000 subscriber special with Demigloom, smoked sheep's tongue, or marinated mealworms.
Hell yeah.
Um, I feel like there's one more thing we're supposed to talk about.
We have a
Oh,
couple of
no,
preamble discussions.
no, we don't. There's no other
Yes, we
shows.
do.
We don't talk about any other shows on this podcast besides Ben 10.
No. Hold on. We said you
You
promised my
promised.
son. we said last episode that you would watch some Danny Phantom and we would discuss it. Now, since the 2 weeks ago that we did that episode, me and you have watched 3 episodes of Danny Phantom. I don't know if you've watched any other episodes without me.
I have not.
Okay. So based on these 3 episodes of Danny Phantom that you watched, what do you think?
I give them a solid 6 out of 10.
Nah, it can't be.
They're good. They're not great. They're not bad, but they're good, you know? I had a really bad first impression from the first episode. I thought the first episode was really stupid. It just like wasn't funny to me. It was just like very basic like Butch Hartman humor. And I don't
I
like
mean,
Butch Hartman.
you don't like Fairly Odd Parents, Butch Hartman shit?
I really do like the Fairly Odd Parents, but I don't like pretty much anything else that I've seen from Butch Hartman.
Well,
I
Danny
like
Phantom is on par, if not better, than like classic Fairly Odd Parents. It was at that same time.
yeah, I
Like
definitely
Danny Phantom was like 2003, and I think that was like the prime of Fairly Odd Parents as well.
yeah. I'm not And I think from what I've seen, it seems on par with Fairly Odd Parents in terms of quality. I'm not the biggest Fairly Odd Parents fan, but like other Butch Hartman works were just like much. I don't know. They had dumber humor, I guess.
Yeah, like Tough Puppy and
Tough
like
Puppy.
what else did Butch Hartman make? I guess Bunsen is a Beast, but like nobody remembers or cares that one. Um, was there anything else?
Let me look this up. Butch Hartman
I
cartoons.
feel like there's like a show I'm missing. It feels like there's a glaring gap.
Yeah, me too. Tough Puppy. Bunsen is a Beast. Fucking Danny Phantom and yeah, this
Okay, well I guess I
looks
was
like
wrong.
Family Guy. Apparently, he works on Family Guy.
Does he?
Yeah.
That's pretty funny.
What does he have to do with Family Guy?
I mean, maybe animation. He is an animator.
Is he? Let's see. Let's read the Family Guy wiki page for Butch Hartman.
Okay.
He provides the voice for Mr. Weed in the television pitch pilot, and also does voices on American Dad. Huh. Okay.
Wait, he did a voice in the pilot of Family Guy?
Yeah. Apparently,
Wow. He played the illustrious Mr. Weed.
I don't even remember Mr. Weed. Who the fuck is Mr. Weed? Oh, this guy. Yeah, yeah, Jonathan Weed. We'll put him on the
Jonathan
screen.
Weed.
Fuck it. Or screw it. We shouldn't swear on this show.
Oh, shut the fuck up.
Okay. But yeah, Danny Phantom, it's good. I mean, do you want to talk any more about Danny Phantom? Do you want to say anything?
I mean, I love Danny Phantom. I think 3 episodes probably isn't a good enough sample size. I think Danny Phantom as a show, it's quality best shows in like bulk. Like
Yeah.
you watch the first 2 seasons of Danny Phantom, and it's like, wow, that was a really good show. Just like all the way through. Now that I've heard some things about the third season, I can't really verify it because I haven't rewatched it in a while, but I've heard the third season's pretty bad. But the first and second season, pretty fucking good TV.
Hmm. What else do we talk about before the episodes?
Oh, I was gonna tell you earlier, and then I decided to save it for the show because it was relevant to Ben 10. I have been watching some Ben 10 video essays for the past
Oh
couple of
yeah.
days. Mainly by this YouTube channel. I don't know if you follow them, the Ink Tank.
I am aware of who the Ink Tank is.
Yes, yeah. So they have a YouTube channel. I think it's like a group. Like I think there's more than one guy. I could be mistaken. But like it's this YouTube channel called the Ink Tank. There's a bunch of Ben 10 video essays on there, and I watched a couple of them. And it was all really interesting stuff. And like I love the character of Ben 10 and I love seeing the show analyzed. But it also pointed out to me what I guess I already knew, but it kind of pointed out in more specifics, and it kind of made me like annoyed. The power
Hmm.
scaling on Ben 10 is fucked.
Oh yeah.
Ben 10 is like probably one of the most powerful characters in fiction.
Yes, 100%.
It's just like
It's ridiculous.
completely broken.
Yeah, I mean, the existence of Way Big or Alien
Well,
X.
I was gonna say, Way Big is just a big guy who fights. Like he's pretty strong, but Alien X that breaks everything.
Alien X breaks everything. He has a lot of aliens that break everything. Even like Humongosaur breaks everything.
No, because
Like,
they're all like, okay, fucking Goku could beat any Ben 10 alien not named Alien X. But once you bring Alien X into the mix, he can just erase any living being with a thought.
yeah, very godlike. It's kind
And
of
then like there's like other shit that you don't think of. Like I don't even know if the video essay said this. I just came to the conclusion myself because I have also been rewatching Ultimate Alien. And there's an episode of Ultimate Alien. Now follow me on this, right? I don't know what the writers were thinking because this implies that Ben 10 is like even more broken than we thought. There's a very early episode of Ultimate Alien where the plot is Ben 10 does not want to go to his girlfriend's tennis game because he wants to see the new Sumo Slammers movie.
the Sumo Slammers movie.
He wants to see the Sumo Slammers movie. And he doesn't want to go to his girlfriend's tennis game. And he's also supposed to try to beat the Forever Knights with Kevin. So he uses the Ultimatrix to become Echo Echo, clones himself twice, and then all 3 clones turn back into Ben. And that's the plot of the episode is like there's one who's like a wimp and he's the one who goes with Kevin. There's one who's like an asshole and he's the one who goes to Julie's tennis game.
So,
And
like
then normal,
the worst possible ones in the
yeah,
worst possible
and
ones.
then normal Ben goes to the movies. But this implies, because there is a point where Wimpy Ben and Kevin fight the Forever Knights, and Wimpy Ben uses the Ultimatrix to become Big Chill. So all three of these Bens have fully functioning Ultimatrix is,
What's the
and
what's
they're
the
just Echo
plural?
clones.
What's the plural for Omnitrix?
Ultra
Omnitri?
Matrices, I guess.
Ultra matrices? Omnimatrices?
Yeah, but yes. So literally, Echo's clones are not just like Echo creation. They're not like shadow clones.
Right.
They're all fully functioning Ben Tennysons.
Yeah, that's
And the
awful.
Echo can make like 1,000 clones.
So he could literally,
There could be 1,000 Alien X's hypothetically.
yeah. What the fuck?
it's
I
it's
feel like
pretty wacky.
I feel like that would just like rip a hole in time and space.
Yeah, that's probably why he doesn't do it. But like when you think about all these little details that they probably didn't think about, it's like, how did they not realize how broken that is? All three clones have fully functional Ultimatrix devices.
Yeah, and I think the unfortunate reality with like kids cartoons is that their first priority is never like building like a canon that makes much sense. It's or like, they don't really concern themselves with plot holes. They're much more concerned with creating something that entertains children. So
Sure.
they're definitely gonna go more with haha funny a bunch of Bens that's so funny, rather than like concerning themselves with putting a hole in the plot or making Ben broken.
I mean, I think Ben 10, a lot of Ben 10 does account for like plot and lore and shit, but
Right.
like that, then you
Much
introduce
more
things
so
like
than
that
like
Echo shit.
much more so than like any other cartoon,
And they
at
even
least
like
that I've
got rid
seen.
of the, apparently I haven't gotten to this part in Omniverse. I only watched like the first 12 episodes of Omniverse, which I did start rewatching, and Ultimate Alien as well, but I haven't gotten too far in either of them. I just kind of got a good sample size of those shows. And there's apparently an episode of Omniverse in which Ben permanently gains full control of Alien X. So like that whole like debate weakness, they just get rid of it.
Wow. That's awful.
Yeah.
So Ben 10 is God, basically.
Pretty
Like
much.
anything he wants to happen will happen, no matter what.
I watched a
Under
video
any
essay where basically the
circumstances.
consensus was Ben 10 is the most powerful character in fiction. He could defeat Goku and Superman, but like he would. The reason why we don't see him do all these broken things on a regular basis is because he is a human being with like a true like moral compass, and he wouldn't go any farther than he needs to in any given situation. So that's why me and you were talking, I believe, privately about how every fight where he doesn't use way big is pointless.
I think we were
That
talking about that on Hellscape.
that could have been. Yeah. I think it was when we were playing Ben 10 Omniverse for the DS.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like the reason he doesn't do that is because he doesn't like he's not just looking to win every battle in 1 second and just not paying attention to like casualties and shit. Like he's a hero. So
Right.
he's gonna do everything as minimalistically as possible in order to minimize destruction.
Okay. But like, don't you think he could use Alien X without killing a million people?
I mean, for sure.
And by the way, speaking of minimizing destruction, we're probably going to talk about this movie another time, but there's literally a movie where Ben in Destroy All Aliens, Ben literally turns into like way big and he's like fighting like the other evil way big or whatever. I don't remember. He's like, it's some huge fight between like two giants.
Wait, that
And
happens
he's
in Destroy All Aliens?
yes, and he's literally grabbing like he's literally like ripping like skyscrapers out of the ground and just like it's like
Okay, well maybe the plot isn't always consistent, but you know.
he's literally like ripping skyscrapers out of the ground and throwing them, just destroying cars and shit. Just like more people probably died in that fight than 9/11.
Oh my god.
Ben 10 killed more people than fucking Osama bin Laden.
Can we like mark that down and cut it out? I think
No.
that's too much.
Now that you said mark that down, I'm definitely not going to mark it down.
Mark it down right now. Executive decision.
Okay. Anyways, I think it's time to talk about the episodes. What do you think?
All right. Yeah, I'm ready.
All right, the episodes we watched. The first episode we watched was season 1, episode 3, The Krakken, which aired on January 14th, 2006. I didn't realize that season 1 started like at the very end of 2005, but it did apparently. Um After pretending to be a monster in a nearby lake to scare Gwen, a real lake monster appears. Now Ben is hard pressed to get anyone to believe him, but not for long. It was directed by Scooter Tidwell, written by Joe Casey, Joe Kelly, and Man of Action, and
Man of action.
it's 23 minutes long, and uh it stars Tara Strong, Paul Eading, Jim Ward, Fred
You're going too far in the
Tatasciore.
IMDb here. I don't think you
Uh,
usually.
okay. Nah, I'm just being silly. This is an episode where it's about a kraken. It's about a mythical, weird creature, presumably an alien creature, right? That lives in
Mhm.
this lake that they're staying at. There's
Yeah.
a lake monster, and at first Ben tries to tell Grandpa Max and Gwen about it, and then they're like, "Nah, that you're
All right,
bullshitting."
Demigloom, am I gonna have to take the wheel here?
What do you mean?
We had this argument in the other version of this podcast that doesn't exist and never happens. This is not Brony initiation. This is Kira's kingdom, beat by beat. What happens? We start off. Ben 10 is in a lake. He turns in forearms. It fights a lake monster.
No, he
Like
doesn't.
that.
What? That's not how it starts.
Yes, it is.
No, it starts with him scaring Gwen.
Yeah.
Remember?
He scares Gwen
With
by
forearms.
pretending to be a lake monster with forearms, and then a lake monster actually shows up and he fights it with forearms.
No, he doesn't fight it. He escapes it.
Does he not try to fight it?
I don't remember, but like
I think he tries to fight it with
there's not a
forearms.
huge encounter. He's very like holy shit, I got to get out of here. But yeah, there's a giant lake monster. And then like he goes in the RV to tell Grandpa and Gwen, and then he's like, "I just saw a giant lake monster." And Gwen's like, "Hey, doofus,
You did that bit
you already
already.
you did that already. Next
Used
bit."
material. Next bit.
She said next bit, and then was like, and then Ben is like, "No, I'm serious this time. No, but for real this time. It's the
There is a wolf this time. I'm a boy and I'm crying wolf.
yeah, it's the boy who cried wolf scenario. Nobody believes him because he lied about it and played a little trick. And Grandpa Max is like, "You probably just saw some kind of big fish, bro. Like, nah, you
L
didn't
plus
see nothing."
ratio. Plus big fish.
And then the amazing theme song plays. Yes, and that all like cut out on my end, but the the theme song plays, and then we see, oh, Ben and Grandpa Max are gonna go on a fishing trip, right?
Mhm.
And then Gwen decides that she wants to stay, get some fresh air, while they go on this fishing trip with slimy worms and doing yucky boy stuff, whereas Gwen, the civilized human being, wants to just stay there.
So
They
Grandpa
decide.
Max leaves his 10-year-old granddaughter with zero adult supervision, as you do.
Don't you think 10-year-olds can be left alone?
Can they?
I feel like they like.
Maybe like within their homes, but not in a new environment that as they're
I feel like.
vacationing across the country.
Well, I feel like they. My perception was that they weren't like far from the RV, and she was kind of just like chilling on the beach that they were
Yeah,
that
I
of the lake that they
suppose.
were fishing in. Like I
Yeah,
didn't. I don't think
fair
it
enough.
was like a big deal, but they decide to go on the fishing trip, and then as they're on the boat, they Gwen is like looking for this monster, and Grandpa Max is like, "Come on, this is supposed to be a fishing trip." You know what I mean? Like we're not. This isn't a monster hunt right now. Let's come on. Let's work on fishing. And then the captain is like, "It's called the Kraken." And then and then Ben's like, "What? You saw him too?" And then like uh from the perspective of Grandpa Max, we have the captain of the ship now, or the captain of the fishing boat, feeding into Ben's delusions about some kind of lake monster. And then basically him and the captain talk about it. Captain shows him a picture.
Because the existence of a lake monster is completely unbelievable.
Yeah,
You see,
in the
my
world of
grandson,
Ben 10.
my grandson has a wristwatch that can turn him into one of 10 aliens, but lake monster, I don't know.
Not to mention, like, all the experience Grandpa Max must have as a plumber. You
It's
know what I'm
like, okay,
saying?
I can see, I think the captain, him not believing the captain was kind of silly. Like, not believing Ben, he did just pull that bit on Gwen. Maybe he's trying to pull
Yeah.
one over on him. But the fact that the captain is like, it's called the Krakken. I have experience with this beast. I feel like Max would immediately be like, oh, maybe this is an issue.
I feel like it's reasonable because, like, yeah, there's always stories about like lake monsters and shit in real life. Like, it's something that isn't it's something that people make up. It's something that people think they see that when they don't. But the fact that there's two accounts of this, the fact that there's photographic evidence, I feel like he should at least give them some leeway and be like, maybe there's some merit to this Kraken
Yeah,
thing.
maybe we should investigate further.
Yeah, instead of completely ignoring the possibility. But after that, Ben is like, or I should say, Captain Shaw, which is his name, is like, "Yo, you want to see the Kraken? I'll take you to where I saw him." And then he tries to go, and then he sees that it's all like taped off, and it's like, "What the hell? This is my lake. I go wherever I want." And then these guys show up. What were they called?
Some fucking fish protection force. I
Oh,
don't know. There's something.
Friends of Fish. FOF.
Yeah,
Friends of
yeah.
Fish. They're like, "Stop right there. This land is being protected by Friends of Fish." And then
Fish
he's
are
like, "What the
friends,
hell?
not
Fish
food.
are friends, not food." Exactly. And then Captain Shaw's like, "No, I'm gonna trespass. Like, I don't respect your authority." And then,
Fuck you, these are my oceans, bitch.
exactly, he says that
Verbatim.
verbatim.
Yeah.
And then afterward, he decides, or Grandpa Max says, "Listen, this is, I'm in charge of you because this is my fishing trip that I paid for." And I say, "Turn around." 'Cause Grandpa Max doesn't want to get into this bullshit. Now, they turn around. What happens next, Riley?
You see, I remember everything that happens in this episode, but I have the order of events mixed up. I don't know if what I think is next actually is
Just,
next.
what do you think is next? It's not the end of the world if we get it a little out of order.
Demigloom, stop trying to gaslight me. Just tell me what comes next.
I don't know what comes next. That's why I'm
What do you
asking you.
mean?
I forgot. I forgot what comes next.
Go set the wiki up.
I don't have the wiki up
Well,
because
get
I'm
the wiki
incompetent.
up. God.
Okay, be dead silent so Audacity just cuts this part out automatically. All right. We have the wiki up. Or we have ben10.fandom.com/wiki up. Jonah Melville from Friends of Fish says they close off the area to study. Reasonable, you know. Hashtag science. And
Yeah,
they're
science.
yeah,
Go,
science.
Mr. White.
Yeah. Um the just as they turn around under the authority of Grandpa Max, Shaw's sonar starts picking something up, and they spot the fin of a huge animal heading toward the docks, where Gwen is. And the Kraken, this big creature that Ben saw earlier, reveals itself. He comes out of the water and he's like, "Ah!" and being loud. And then
He's pretty terrifying.
it's a pretty
He's pretty fucking crazy.
it's a pretty badass creature. It gets out and it's like heading to the shore and it's like, holy shit. Like, we gotta save the people. And Ben he tries to turn into Ripjaws, but ends up turning into Accelerate. So he tries to save everybody. He runs over to shore. He's fast enough to run on water. He can walk on water with Accelerate.
Yeah.
And yeah, and he runs to the shore and he snatches all the people and he puts them on the beach. You know, everybody who's in the lake, make sure they're safe. And then the Friends of Fish people,
Friends of fish people.
the Friends of Fish people, those people order
Yeah.
their crew to get their boat moving and get the hell out of there. And then the Kraken sees it and they're like, oh shit. It grabs the boat, shakes it around, but Accelerate arrives and scares it off. The Kraken comes back, this time trying to grab like a crate off of the boat. And then Accelerate kicks the shit out of him. And then Ben, as Accelerate, kicks the shit out of them. And then saves their cargo. And the Kraken, he waddled away until the very next day.
Da, 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 da.
So like Ben is like, why would you
The
why would
Kraken
you
walked up to the
sacrifice?
fishing boat.
Shut up. Hey, got any crates? You ever seen that video? It's like Eminem singing the duck song.
Yeah, you told me about that and I watched it.
Oh, you watched it?
It's pretty good.
It's pretty hilarious. We're gonna have to play this. I'm sorry. We're ruining the show.
No, I've heard it before.
No. To eliminate stand.
Wow. This
Oh my
is
god,
so
Riely, give me
stupid.
permissions. Get this spot out of here. It was funny for a minute. It needs to be gone. Anyways, he's like, "Why would you sacrifice yourself for your crates?" And they're like, our lunch." And then Ben's like, "Man, that's some old bullshit. Why would you sacrifice yourself for a goddamn fucking cheese
My
toast?"
fucking bologna sandwich, dog. Ain't no Kraken getting that. I'll fight to the death.
Yeah, Riely would fight to the death for his bologna sandwich.
For sure. Somebody stole my raisins out of the work fridge, and if I ever find out who it is, I will use illegal force.
Illegal force? That's so ambiguous, yet so not ambiguous at the same time. Yeah. And Ben is immediately suspicious. He's like, "Man, what the fuck?" And they're like, "Don't worry about it." And then as before Ben is able to ask any more questions or investigate or take a look at anything, his Omnitrix begins to time out. So he quickly runs to shore or attempts to run to shore. And then as the Omnitrix times out, he turns back into himself. But he's close enough to the boat where Grandpa Max is able to tell the captain that he's overboard and get him back on the boat, and everything's okay. Now, we cut to them sitting at a fire, Ben, Gwen, and Grandpa Max. And they're talking about what happened. They're like, "Yeah, man, this shit is crazy." And then Captain Shaw comes around, and he's like, "Those fish-hugging bastards, they shut down the whole lake." And then they're like, "What?" And it's like, how could you be mad that the whole lake is shut down when this fucking monster is on the loose, first of all?
Well, he wants to fight the monster.
Yeah, but don't you think it's pretty reasonable to close the lake from the public
Not
after
from
that?
him, not from Captain Shaw, fucking monster hunter.
Captain Shaw, Monster Hunter. Yeah, they talk about it. What happens next? I believe Gwen ends up looking at her computer, going on the with her 4G LTE in 2006, is able to look up the Friends of Fish people on her computer, right? And
Yeah.
she's like, "Whoa, these people
This
aren't."
guy, not a friend of the fish at all.
He's not a friend of the fish at all. He's what did he
An
do?
enemy of the fish.
He's an enemy of the fish. Yeah. He does bad things. Bad
he,
things.
he
And
he's
he
like an exotic wildlife poacher.
yeah, he's an exotic wildlife poacher, and he's like he's collecting a bunch of shit, and it's made pretty apparent that he wants to kill the Kraken. He wants to hunt the Kraken down, keep the shit for himself, and that this whole like Friends of Fish uh, is just a bunch of nonsense. They're not like a real organization. It's just like an excuse for him to, like sort of claim hunting grounds and get his hands on valuable, poaching shit. So They eventually decide they're gonna track down the Friends of Fish people. Wait, no. I skipped. I skipped part of it.
Okay. Tell us about the part that you skipped. Demigloom dead? Question mark.
Shut up.
Okay.
All right. Ben decides he wants to help Shaw catch the Kraken, but Max is like, "Man, you leave that guy alone. He's not mentally well.
Yeah,
That guy is crazy, basically."
the guy's whack.
But yeah. Then Ben eventually like sneaks out, right? And follows Shaw, trespassing on the lake, looking for the Kraken. The two discover, or Ben like sneaks on the boat, and Shaw's like, "What the hell, man? Get out of here! Get out of here, kid!" And Ben like follows him anyway into the water, puts on some scuba shit, grabs a harpoon, and they dive deep, and they see like a nest. They discover some sort of underwater nest and realize that the Kraken has eggs laid. They realize they see Kraken eggs. And then eventually some men in diving masks show up and basically beat the living shit out of Captain Shaw. They like knock him out, and then they like blow up his fucking boat. They like throw some sort of like explosive onto his boat. And then they're like, "This guy's no, we're no longer gonna have to worry about this guy." But Ben does save him, fortunately. But he does have to lose. Captain Shaw does lose his boat. After why are we
This.
just why are we only doing the plot description? Shouldn't we be talking about it?
Yeah.
What do you think,
I haven't
Riley?
latched on to a conversation topic yet.
We got to
Until
figure
just
something
now.
out.
Until right after you yelled at me, in which I was going to say something.
All right, what do you got to
God.
say? What do you got to say?
You know what? Fuck you.
No, what do you got to say?
You see, you always do this, Demigloom. You take the wind out of my sails when you fucking acknowledge what's wrong with my product, right as I'm about to fix it, and then I'm like, now I don't feel like saying what I was gonna
Just
say.
do it. Just say what you're going to
You
say. That's exactly what we
fucker.
need right now.
You fucking bitch. I don't even remember.
Wow. You know, this podcast is like pretty god awful.
Just fucking stop it then. God.
No, for real. For real, for real, for real. The show must go on, Riley.
But you're not gonna cut any of this out. It's gonna be horrible.
No, I'll cut out whatever I need to. I'll just determine that this doesn't need to be cut out because it's funny.
Shut the fuck up. Fuck you.
Okay, Riley. So, up until this point, whose like side are you on? Like you're on Captain Shaw's side, right?
Duh.
You like him? You like Captain Shaw, or are you not a fan of him?
He's funny. And
I mean, like
at this point, Captain Shaw's side is the same as Ben and Co.'s side.
it's Ben's
And
side because Grandpa Max is against him. Remember?
well, Ben and Co. want the Friends of Fish people to stop. They don't want to.
Yeah.
Max doesn't want to get involved in that way, but all the good people in this scenario want the Friends of Fish to be fried, much like a fish would be.
Yeah. The thing with
Oh, and I know what I was gonna say. The fucking Friends of Fish people really fucking graduating in crime here, because you think about it, it's like poaching. What is that gonna land you, like a year in the clink, maybe?
I don't fucking
The
know.
murder via bomb.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little more intense.
Just a little bit more intense. I mean, yeah, he literally. It's weird how explicit Ben 10 is. I guess it's not that explicit for its time, but like for everything that followed Ben 10 was very much like no death. People can't die in cartoons, you know what I mean? You can't kill somebody, you can only destroy them, you know what I'm saying? I will destroy you. Like, yeah, okay. But like genuinely, it's like it's shocking looking back at these cartoons. It's like, holy shit, like we have murder by bomb, murder by explosive. Like he tried
Seems
to
to be the
kill a
main
man.
form of murder.
Yeah. It's just like shocking to me. Like cartoons are so I guess tame these days when it comes to violence
I mean,
that
like,
it's
what action cartoons are there now?
well, action cartoons are dead, and that's a huge part of this.
Yeah, like what? I mean, I think there's a few. I
I don't
feel
even
like there
pay attention
has
to
to be
cartoons right now, so I don't even know.
because like the new Ben 10 reboot is shit.
You don't know that.
What I've seen is pretty shit.
How much have you seen?
Just clips.
Just clips, okay.
But it's like, yeah, this looks bad. It is bad.
The character design is god awful. Like the
It's
way
interesting that
Grandpa
they've got
Max
like,
looks.
yeah, they all look like they belong in fucking Brickleberry.
It it all looks like it's like the like what they did with like Teen Titans Go and the Ben 10 reboot is like the American equivalent of Chibi. You know what I
Yeah, but
mean?
it's
Just
like
like a really like watered down,
bad.
but it's like not cute. Chibi is
Chibi is
cute.
charming and cute.
Even though like Chibi excuse me, is
Okay, I'm gonna
definitely
be honest. Some of the aliens in Ben 10 reboot do look kind of cute, as if they're chibi versions. Like
yeah.
not Humongousaur. Humongousaur looks bad. Fucking Forearms looks kind of cute.
See, I would say that about a lot of the aliens in Omniverse. They look really cute to me. They don't really look like I
That
like
little bug that shoots out goop that he gets looks kind of cute. Little scuttle bug.
yeah,
Um,
particularly the redesigns in Omniverse are pretty adorable to me.
I don't know about that. What do you mean in specific? Like what aliens?
I don't fucking remember.
I think of
I just
examples and
remember
I'm like,
having
oh
that.
yeah, that little fish guy he turns into is kind of cute. The little scuttlebug, but those are all new Omniverse aliens.
The fucking all like the Alien Force ones, they're cute to me. Like Big Chill, Goop,
Well, Goop was always cute.
fucking yeah, but he's cuter.
Goop is adorable.
No homo.
I love Goop.
Anyways, back to the plot of the
I want
show.
Goop all over my face.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. Okay. I can't make a 9/11 joke, but you're gonna do Goop all over my face.
Oh, we not. I think cum jokes and 9/11 jokes are on two different planes.
I think cum jokes are more edgy than 9/11 jokes for the most
Not
part.
true.
What do you mean not true?
It's not. The 9/11, you're joking about a tragedy where millions of people died. If you joke about cum, you're just joking
Millions?
about cum.
Millions of people died in 9/11.
Thousands. I'm sorry.
The millions. 11 million people died at 9/11. No, a tragedy where millions of people died was the fucking fight between Ben Tennyson and the fucking other way big thing
Mark all of this
in
down. This
Bellwood.
is all unusable.
This is fucking hilarious. This is Brody Initiation Podcast too. This is Kira's Kingdom mixed with Brody Initiation Podcast, and I love it.
I want this to be
Beautiful.
like somewhat approachable because it actually got
No.
views and like comments.
Okay, listen, everyone in the comments, let us know if you want us to be edgy or if you want us to be little bitches.
Listen, if Ellie tells us to never make 9/11 jokes again, it's over.
Okay. If Ellie says that we can't make edgy jokes like this, then I will respect the authority of Ellie because Ellie
Yes,
is like
Ellie is basically our producer. They decide what happens.
yes, they make all the decisions behind the scenes. There are Kamala Harris. If you if you genuinely I feel like you put in the time to listen to this show that has like no viewers, you know what I mean? It's a very selfless act.
No viewers.
You know, nobody watches us, you know, and when people do, I feel very appreciative, and anytime they have any sort of input, I really respect it. I feel like they, as one of the few consumers of my content, deserve a stake, or they have a stake in it, and they deserve
They're a shareholder of
influence.
the
Yeah.
Riely and Demigloom company.
Yes, exactly. Maybe Ellie doesn't want to be that anymore, but the show will go on with or without Ellie, this random
No,
person.
Ellie's very important.
If Ellie's gone, is the show over?
No, the show's not over, but I'll be very sad.
Ellie, you're the main source of inspiration for this show.
Yeah.
Your one comment.
Your one comment has the single-handedly continuing.
Anyways, back to the plot of the episode. Long story short, and Riley's gonna be mad at me for saying long story short, but long story short, they go find the Friends of Fish people, right, at their little facility, their little
Yeah.
marine facility, and they're like, "Oh my god, this is like a base for like poachers and shit, and they're gonna try to kill the Kraken." And then they're like, the thing that separates the side of Ben and Co. from the side of Sean or Shaw, excuse me, is that
Captain Sean.
yes, go to
It's me,
get
Captain
Shawnee's
Sean.
get Shawnee's NFTs. If you
Yeah.
if you want to, why did I say if you want? Oh my god, this is I'm so sorry. I'm gonna power through this, okay? I'm not
Yeah.
good at plot descriptions. Riley, you become the plot description person, okay? Because I
No.
suck. I'm horrible. I'm awful at this.
You did just fine the first time.
That's not true. We had the same exact problem last time.
No, we didn't.
All right, Ellie.
Okay,
Ellie. Ellie, please. Please be a sensible human being and affirm that I'm right. Riley needs to do the plot descriptions instead of me.
Well, I mean, Ellie's never heard me do a Ben 10 plot description. They don't know.
Anyone but me needs to do it.
Fair, fair.
All right, but anyways, they decide they fight them, and you know they have
They
Kraken
do a
eggs.
fight.
That they have Kraken eggs, and they're like, no. And the thing that separates the side of Shaw and the side of Ben and Co. is that Shaw is like, these friends, or Ben and Co. are like, these Friends of Fish people are bad because they want to kill the Kraken, and Shaw is like, these Friends of Fish people are bad because they want
They
to
want
kill
to
the
kill the
Kraken
Kraken
and
instead of me.
instead of me. Yeah, exactly. So Ben, you know, he turns into Ripjaws, and of course the Friends of Fish dude has like some fucking like huge like robot mech suit that can
Of
go
course.
underwater. It's like, okay, I guess that just happened. Like, what the fuck? But yeah,
I mean,
there's
what
an
is that
epic
noise I
battle.
keep hearing? Is that Mario 64?
Oh my god, that volume is on. No.
You
Okay,
fucking idiot. Turn it off.
it's off. It's off. Don't worry. How long have you been hearing that?
I heard the whole thing, but I just heard like a
The whole thing?
No! I said I haven't!
Oh,
I just heard that one beep noise. I was like, and I was like, oh, that sounds like Mario 64 to me.
it's Super Mario World for your information. But
Oh, okay, this is
anyways,
Mario something.
anyways, long story short, Ben he fights him and frees the Kraken's eggs, and when he does this, he turns into Ripjaws. And then after he's done fighting as Ripjaws, Captain Shaw catches Ripjaws, and he's like, "I caught him! I caught one of the Kraken babies." And then like he turns back into Ben, and he's like, "Nah, dude, that's Ben. The hell?"
And the
And he's
captain's
like,
like, I could have
"No,
sworn there was a
I could have
monster in
sworn there was a
there.
monster in there."
Oh, well, let's not give it any further thought.
Yeah, exactly. And then like the episode like ends with like a very like creepy shot of just like the Kraken sitting underwater with like creepy sound effects, like creepy ambience. And
Wait,
I was like, "Oh,
really?
okay."
I thought
Yeah.
it was like, I thought they were doing like more heartfelt, where it like gets in the nest with its babies. And it's like, oh, mother.
It felt creepy to me.
No, I think they were trying to do heartfelt. I think you might have just gotten the wrong vibes.
They play like creepy ambience and they go like, "Oh, no," like some creepy ass sound, and it just like shows the Kraken like with its eyes all lit up, just staring up above the water.
Saying thank you to Ben Tennyson.
And then the Kraken said, "Thank you, Ben Tennyson, for your hard work. I will award you this power star." And then Ben said, "No, no, 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 here we go."
Oh yeah, that's
And
my
then that's how the
favorite.
episode ended.
Yeah, yeah. Ben gets the star from the Kraken's tail.
Yeah. So what did you think of this episode?
That's pretty good.
For me, are we doing 1 out of 10 in our favorite
Yes.
character and all that? For me, like I really like this episode, but it's also like as a huge Ben 10 fan, it doesn't rank super highly among the other episodes. And I think it really just speaks to how good the series is, because if this episode was an episode of another show that wasn't very good, I would say it's like a really good episode. But among the masterpiece that is the original Ben 10 series, this episode isn't all that special.
Yeah, I mean,
There's
I think this is the worst one we've seen so far, just comparing it to the first two, but like, and the next one we're about to talk about, but it's still good.
yeah, and I think this is the first episode where no real like plot, like real like plot progression. You know what I mean? It's just like it's just like an adventure that they have
Which
that has
there's a
no
lot of that in the
real.
Ben 10 franchise.
Yes. And it's sort of like a transition, because the first two episodes were very, very much like there's a lot of progression, whereas now it's more so just like almost slice of life in a way, but not
I mean,
slice of life.
what was plot important about episode 2 besides Dr. Animo exists now?
I feel like there was just more like character. I feel like it showed some character development, especially between like the relationship between Ben and Gwen. It
That's
also
true. That's
shows
fair
like
enough.
I just feel like it's like the first like real, like Ben is like a real hero now. Like that's established like 100% from the beginning of episode 2. You know
He
what I mean? It
turns
went
into
from
gray
like,
matter and tries to get sumo slammer cards.
yeah. I don't know. I just feel like it really helped set the tone
No, you're
for.
right.
But like this episode 3, it feels like it continues without progressing. It's not a problem for me. It's just a bit of an adjustment.
For sure. All right, do you want to get to the actual wrap up questions?
Sure.
Favorite character, Demigloom.
Favorite character has got to be I don't know. I mean, I guess I give it to Captain Shaw cuz he's just funny.
Captain Shaw is pretty funny, and I was considering giving it to Captain Shaw, which honorable mention, but to be different from you, and I was going to change my answer anyway. We decided aliens are separate characters. I think I'm giving it to Ripjaw.
Rip
Because you
Jaws.
Ripjaws, I'm sorry. Because I don't know, man, he's just so fucking sick. Like I've written off I had written off Ripjaws. I was like, he's like one of the mid Ben 10 aliens. Like I don't really think about him that much. But
Yeah.
I hadn't seen him in action for so long because I've only seen like certain like choice. Most of the Ben 10 I've watched recently has been like teenage era Ben 10, where he doesn't use Ripjaws that much, even if he does have access to him. But Ripjaws in this episode, fucking sick, kicked ass, love it. Ripjaws favorite character.
Favorite character. Okay. Favorite scene? Is that what we do?
Yeah, I mean it's probably the final battle with Ripjaws to accentuate my favorite character. Just Ripjaws kicking the shit out of that mech.
Yeah. That's pretty cool. I liked seeing the Kraken get saved. That was the thing. I was like happy. I was happy that they did the liberal animal rights narrative.
Yeah, of
You know, they were
course.
like, it's like other cartoons, it's always like, oh my god, it's a monster, kill it! We gotta beat the shit out of this thing, man. Like, it can't exist. You know what I mean? And then they're just like, nah, man, leave him alone. He didn't do anything.
Yeah,
Her,
it's like once
sorry.
you leave her alone. Yeah, once you realize that they're like nice, you don't kill them. Like
Yeah.
I don't think any even the other action cartoons you're talking about. Once the monsters prove that they're nice, I don't think they're like we gotta kill them anyway, and then they fucking do, and they're like
Well, I don't think
yeah.
usually the monsters ever prove they're nice. A lot of action cartoons, it's just like, oh, this monster exists, and it's terrorizing the city. You know what I mean? They just make them like implicitly, well, not
You don't
implicitly,
think
but like
once a monster starts running
intrinsically.
around a shitty and breaking buildings and shit, it doesn't have to die at that point?
No, I don't think. No, I do think that. Right? I don't disagree with that. What I have to say is like I think it's just really like stupid when they decide like like they just decide like a character or like a species or a monster is just evil for no reason. You know what I mean? It's just like really
Yeah.
lazy writing to me. It's just like, oh, evil monster. You know what I mean? Whereas with this lake monster, they decided, you know, like they took a little. I mean, I don't want to call it a nuanced approach. That would be a little too generous, but they definitely decided like, you know what, like we don't have to make it evil just because it's a monster. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
No, I liked it. No, fuck that. My favorite character is the Kraken. Duh.
Okay.
All right.
Rate out of 10? I
Rated
give it
out of
like a
10.
7. Pretty good.
Yeah, I give it like a 7. I want to rate it lower just because I rank it like, like I said, lower among other Ben 10 episodes. But also just like objectively, like it's not a bad episode at all. Like I enjoy it.
That's hard to do. It's hard to like contextualize within a series. I usually just
Yeah,
rate like how I think, and that's why I never give a Death Note episode lower than a 7.5 on Curious Kingdom.
never lower than a 7.5.
That was as low as I went with 7.5.
Damn. All right then. All right. Are we ready to talk about episode 4?
Yeah.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, guys, gals, non-binary pals, we will talk about episode 4.
Hold on. Do you want? We're not doing. First of all, we're not doing that. Second of all,
Yeah.
no, we're not doing the commercial shit because you would literally delay putting out Brony Initiation for weeks at a time because you didn't have an ad.
We're not doing it every time, okay? But we can do it every now and then as a
Yeah,
special,
whatever. Do your bit. Fine.
a little special treat. We'll get ad breaks, okay?
Wow, I'm sure people love ad breaks. Just
I love ad breaks.
special treat.
The Brony Initiation podcast ads are beloved.
Are they?
Yes,
Okay, I'll
fans
take your
love
word
them.
for it. What I was about to
Our
surmise
2
is
fans love him.
yes, our 2 fans. What like Peep Peep and
Peep and
Seismic.
fucking oh, what the fuck? What the fuck was her name? We always argued about how to pronounce her name. Kelme.
shit.
Chelme.
Yeah.
Chelme literally just changed her name to Q and removed her profile picture and deleted any content that was on her channel.
Wow.
It was real, I guess, guys. This is the only confirmation we needed.
QAnon. QAnon themselves were watching our podcast.
Yes, QAnon himself.
QAnon.
The guy.
The guy Q. QAnon. First name Q, last name Anon.
Yes.
Hey all you kitties and shitties, do you like obscure video game content and the occasional miscellaneous video about whatever the fuck you feel like? Well boy do I have the YouTube channel for you. That's right, youtube.com/c/Jelleoo. That is Jelleeoo. Time of your life you will not regret it. Call now at 1-800-328-7448 for a free consultation with Jelleoo himself.
And we're back to talk about Season 1, Episode 4 of the original Ben 10 series, Permanent Retirement, which aired on January 21st, 2006, running at 23 minutes, rated TVY7.
Fuck.
In the category of animation, action, and adventure.
Sure.
Available on HBO Max with an IMDb
Wow.
rating of 7.4 out of 10. Directed by Scooter Tidwell, written by Joe Casey, Marsha F. Griffin, and Joe Kelly.
By the way, I just want to say,
Starring
apparently
Tara Strong, Megan Moore,
First
and
of all,
Paul
stop.
Eading.
Second of all, apparently the IMDb is lazy on figuring who wrote what episode. Because according to the Ben 10 wiki, this is just written by Marsha F. Griffin.
Oh, really?
I don't know if IMDb was just like they took all of the Ben 10 writers and just put them on every episode.
No,
But
they're
according to
different.
this, it's
They're
Marsha F.
different.
Griffin.
They're different in every one on IMDb.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I think the
Okay.
wiki's lazy.
Maybe the wiki's lazy. That could be.
They only take like the primary writer.
That could also be. But all right, let me tell you a little bit what happens in this episode.
This episode is fucking based, by the way. I love this episode.
I do love this
I just
episode,
want to
too.
say that.
I'm gonna say that up front. So this episode starts with a little Ben 10 Crime Stopper. They stop for some gas and for some ice cream, and then there's some guys robbing an ATM.
Yeah.
And Gwen, remember the joke where like Gwen is like they're both at the ice cream shop, and Gwen's like, "Do you have anything like non-sugar, non-fat, non-gluten?" And the guy's like, "Yeah, napkins." And then
Yeah,
Ben
that
goes to order.
did happen.
Ben goes
That's
to order
pretty
his
funny.
ice cream, and then he sees some guys robbing an ATM.
And he
Then
says, I'm about to go Rocky Road.
he did say that, and then he turns into Upgrade and beats the fuck
We haven't
out
seen
of him.
before, right? We haven't
Yeah,
seen
this is
Upgrade
our first Upgrade.
before. Our first upgrade.
Yeah, Upgrade's pretty lit. Upgrade was one of my favorite aliens as a kid.
I think he's like one of the coolest in concepts, but like I feel like
he's not executed often enough.
he's not executed often enough for me to like be satisfied with his execution. You know what I'm saying? I feel like he's a really underused alien.
Also, fun facts. This is a fun thing I learned. You learn this in Omniverse, actually, and this is like when I think of Upgrade, I think about this now because I rewatched this part of Omniverse like a month ago. But apparently, the alien race that Upgrade is from is actually an artificially created race by Azimuth
I did learn about this
called the
actually.
Galvanic Mechamorph.
I actually learned this as a kid from watching. I don't remember. I think I had like no. I learned this from the trading cards.
Yo,
I'm pretty sure it didn't say they were created by Azimuth. I
I
wasn't
believe they were
aware of
created
that.
by the Galvans.
Oh,
Perhaps
the Galvins. Sorry.
I think it's
Maybe it did say the
Azimuth in
Galvins.
specific, but maybe the Galvans, and they're called Galvanic Mechamorphs.
Well, either way, I did know about this as a child. I think on the trading card it said something like that. Ben 10 is like a series with a lot, like they put a lot of lore into like with the aliens and shit. Like you can just watch the show and be like, oh yeah, cool upgrade guy, or you can like buy the trading cards or read the wiki or whatever you're doing.
Literally
in this day and age.
every entry on the wiki, literally every alien is like it's the Omnitrix's DNA sample of blank from blank planet, and it has like some level of factoid about that alien.
Right. And like their
apparently,
species, their home planet.
Humongousaur's race is prone to sight loss, and some of them wear glasses. That's a fun fact.
That's really funny. Did you know that Diamond Head's race, their entire planet was destroyed?
Oh
That
no,
actually
what happened?
I don't remember. There was like a civil war, or I think Vilgax was involved. I don't remember exactly what happened, but it actually like becomes in a serious part of the lore when Tetrax comes into the show.
Okay, well, I mean, more on this as it develops.
Yeah.
So, after Ben is high on life, he just beat up some robbers as Upgrade, and then Max is like, "Yo, we're gonna go visit our Aunt Vera," and Ben's like, "Oh man!"
Oh
And then the intro
man!
plays.
Doesn't Danny Phantom say, "Oh man"?
They all say, "Oh man."
Yeah, do all action cards.
I think Ben 10 does that, and like Danny Phantom does it sometimes, but Ben 10 does it like almost every episode, and so does American Dragon Jake Long. Like that's literally how almost every American Dragon Jake Long intro goes. It's like something goes wrong, and he's like, "Oh man," and then the theme song starts. You should try American Dragon Jake Long. I feel like you'd either really like it or really hate it. There's no in between. It's like so goofy and so like deep in 2000s cartoon core that you're either gonna really love it or hate it.
Is this gonna be a bit where I have to watch a new action cartoon every episode?
Yes.
No, I disagree.
Tune in next week for Demigloom's thoughts on American Dragon Jake Long.
And then the week after for Riley's thoughts on American Psycho.
That's not a 2000s action cartoon.
It could be.
It could be. Who knows?
Have you looked it up? How do you know?
I know what American Psycho is.
How do you know that they didn't make a cartoon of it? How do you know it wasn't adapted into
I mean, I suppose it could have been adopted into I don't know about that. It could have been adapted into an animated series, but I don't know if it would fit in the same genre.
I mean, they made a RoboCop animated series for children.
I think I watched I watched the kill count of what I believe was American Psycho 2.
I don't know why they ever did an American Psycho 2.
Was it about like a chick in college?
I have no idea.
Was it? I don't know if it was American Psycho or another like famous horror series. Let me look this up real quick. It's like a famous horror series that like the first one is widely regarded, and the second one is a really shitty movie about a college girl who murders people.
Oh, that's minus the college
that is
girl
American
who murders people,
Psycho.
Okay.
American Psycho 2 All American Girl, released in 2002.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Anyway.
a lot of the times horror movies. I assume she's a hot chick.
She's pretty hot, yeah.
Yeah, like horror movies, they immediately they're like, well, we made a good movie. We got no ideas.
Time to make a movie about a hot chick.
Yeah, time to make a movie about time to put hot chicks in our movie, or hot underage girls.
Well, I mean, they did that in Friday the 13th Part 2.
Yeah,
It's a little fucked up.
pretty yucky.
Dude,
horror movies.
Most of the Friday the 13th movies, like I've heard production was hell on some of them, but Friday the 13th Part 2 in particular, the production was just like the most like awful, unsafe, like grungy shit. Like I've watched like documentaries about Friday the 13th Part 2. The director was a porn director.
Oh
So he was
God.
like during the sex scenes, he was constantly like giving them pornographic instructions.
Did the
Um,
did the there weren't any like underage actors in sex scenes, were there?
yes, there was a 17-year-old girl. That was a controversy.
Oh
Yeah.
no.
I
God
don't think
damn
no,
it,
no, I don't
dude.
think we saw her nude though.
Either way, it
There was a
doesn't matter.
there was a cutout scene where she was nude. It was unfortunate, but they got rid of it thankfully.
Yeah, thank God they didn't distribute fucking child porn in Friday
Yeah,
the
a little
13th Part
rough.
2.
Little rough. But and apparently like all the actors are doing drugs and shit. Like it was a wacky production.
Still, yeah, that's just awful, man.
It's pretty bad. Friday the 13th Part 2, pretty bad production.
It's not even a good movie. Like they didn't even like do this for the sake of like putting out a good movie. It's
I
just
mean, it was pretty good. I just like all of those like shitty slasher films. I mean,
the first two
Friday the 13th
Friday
Part
the
2
13th.
is pretty on the upper echelon, I would say.
I disagree. I like Friday the 13th Part 3 way better.
Part 3 is pretty good. I think Part 4 is considered to be like the best.
No, Jason X or
Jason X is the best to me, but
Wait, actually?
yes.
What? I was joking. Nobody likes Jason X.
I love Jason X because it's so campy and a lot of the kills are really creative. It's just really creative and fun. Like I don't care that it's goofy. I like that it's goofy.
What about Jason Takes Manhattan?
Jason Takes Manhattan was pretty bad.
Like literally like half the movie is like Jason on a boat.
Jason takes a boat.
Jason takes a boat. Can we name that the episode? Omnitrix Radio episode 2,
right,
Jason takes a boat.
but I already have got any crates as the
Have
title.
any cranes?
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
But
But back to permanent retirement.
back to permanent retirement, yes. So they're driving over to Vera's village. Ben is like, fuck these old people, man. They smell like cabbage and they're boring. And and that's basically Ben's sentiment the whole episode.
Yeah.
So meanwhile, Vera's having a chat with her neighbor, Marty, for a little while. And then Ben and Grandpa Max pull up right as Marty's about to leave, or right as Marty leaves. But unbeknownst to us, in Marty's house, he gets attacked by some sort of blobus creature. And
Blobus?
blob-like creature.
Bro. You know what I realized?
What?
The blob creatures kind of look
Yeah.
like goop.
Yo?
But
But they don't have the UFOs, so they're not the same
Yeah.
species. But
they're not the same species, but they kind of look like goop.
that would have been interesting. I wonder if they did do that. I assume they couldn't have. But like
Couldn't have what?
like an alien enemy from the original Ben 10 show was like one of Ben's aliens in Alien Force. That would have been clever, but I feel like they didn't do it, and they should have.
Yeah. I wonder if there's any in Omniverse. Surely they're like the amount of aliens he has access to. Surely they did that.
No, he like takes. Well, I mean, in the later shows, he like gets DNA scans of his enemies and then turns into them like that time, and then
Yeah.
that's an alien he has. Like in Omniverse, he gets like some like chicken guy that is like a villain, and then he gets his DNA and he becomes.
Oh, I remember the chicken guy.
Man.
They had like a chicken fight.
Yeah. And the chicken turns into Humongousaur. And it's funny because he's still making chicken sounds.
That is.
Do you remember that episode? That shit was cracked.
Kind of, yeah.
There's like a prison break because Ben's Omnitrix, like there was like an energy wave and it turned like the enemies in the plumber prison into Ben 10 aliens. Like the
That
chicken guy
sounds
became
bad.
Humongousaur. The one of Vilgax's like flunkies who becomes his own villain in Omniverse, whose name I don't remember, becomes like a heat blast. One of them becomes like Upgrade. It's pretty cool. But anyway, so yeah, Marty gets attacked by a goop blob. And then Ben and Gwen are fuck. I'm really bad at these two.
It's not easy, man.
It's pretty bad. So as the Rust Bucket is driving towards Aunt Vera's house, they drive past Marty's house, and Ben notices or not Marty's house, just like some guy, and he notices him like perfectly backflipping off of a roof.
Yes.
Which Gwen and Max do not see, so they think he's wacky. And then they finally arrive at Vera's house. Ben's like, it's fucking super hot out here. Fuck this shit. And then Gwen squirts him with a water gun. It's cute. It's funny. And Ben also sees Marty in his house, who hisses at him and cracks his neck in a bunch in like weird directions, and then shuts his window.
Yes.
So
He,
the
he
things
cracks
are,
his neck like in total, like a 360 revolution around his head.
yeah, things are a little wacky going on in this neighborhood. So Vera greets her family. She pinches their cheeks, and it hurts because she's a pincher, as Grandpa Max warned with an N. She brings them inside for dinner, which is a pork flavored gelatin mold.
No, a pork-filled gelatin mold.
Yeah,
A it's like
it's
a
a gelatin mold.
jello
It's got like
jello
pork
thing,
and
and it's
shit.
got pork and shit in it. It had pork chops and various other food items.
And she gives Ben some coffee flavored candy, which is that he doesn't like.
No, she just gives him coffee.
No, she gives him asks him if he wants candy, and then she gives him a coffee flavored candy.
No, she gives him like a fucking like a little like just thing of coffee.
No, she doesn't.
She calls it candy. Like the thing is like she's passing that off as candy. Was
I
the
thought she
joke.
just gave him coffee flavored candy, and he didn't like it because he's 10.
No, she gave him like coffee.
I feel like you're wrong about this. You see, the wiki also says coffee beans, and I'm like, that can't be right. I think she just gave him coffee flavored candy,
She gave him
and
coffee.
he didn't
beans.
like it because he's a shitty 10-year-old.
Riely, me and the wiki are right, okay?
No, I'm right, and everyone else is wrong.
My recollection is right, and everybody else's is completely wrong.
It's true. But Ben decides to go run and hide in the bathroom, and then he has the idea that he's like, I can sneak out using my fancy little alien watch, and then he turns into Ghost Freak for the first time.
Best alien.
Pretty good alien. And then he uses Ghost Freak to escape. He like taunts Gwen a little bit on his way out. And he starts roaming around.
Gwen is like listening to like a seashell. Like, you know how people put a seashell up to their ear and then
Then
the ocean?
then Ben's like, loser.
As Ghost Freak, who is invisible. He's completely invisible, and he just goes loser to her. It's pretty funny. And she like freaks out for a second. She's like, "Oh, fucking Ben."
Ben, yeah. So anyway, Ghost Freak is like wandering around, just looking for something fun to do. He finds a golf cart, which he starts riding around. And then he smells some apple pie. So he wants to go have some apple pie.
He wants to go steal some random person's
He wants to
apple pie.
go commit thievery on some random person's apple pie. And this old lady in this house is trying to swat at a fly. And as Ghost Freak approaches, she leaps up, clings to the ceiling, and eats the bug.
She literally like her body like flips upside down, and she like sticks to the ceiling and then eats the fly like with her mouth, just like.
Man, all she has to do is live in a pod, and she'll be 2030 America.
That's so true.
She ate the bugs.
Mo Diggity's America.
Anyway, so yeah, Ghost Freak is freaked out by him eating the bug.
He's ghost freaked out.
He's ghost freaked out. That's right.
That's an episode later.
Yeah, I was about to say that has to be an episode. I almost thought like I feel like I'm gonna look this up because
What?
I feel like I hear like phrases and I'm like that's an episode title, and most times it is. I feel
Ghost
like
Freaked Out. It is an episode. It's the episode.
No, Ghost
where...
Freaked Out is an episode, but there's something we said earlier that in my mind I was like, that's an episode title, but I forgot to say it out loud to you and like make a joke about it.
What was it?
The Ben Who Cried Wolf.
The Ben Who Cried Wolf. I didn't even say the. I didn't say the Ben Who Cried Wolf.
I said the Ben Who Cried
Wolf.
Oh.
No,
I was like,
you
he
said
does have a.
You in reference to Ben, you were like he cried wolf. You didn't say the Ben Who Cried Wolf.
Well, maybe I didn't say it out loud, but I thought it, and I'm like, I feel like this
Yes.
has to be like the episode where Ben Wolf is introduced. Is called the Ben Who Cried Wolf.
Is it?
It's not, but it should.
Damn, it should be.
Yo, Ben Wolf, pretty epic alien.
Yes, but we'll talk about we'll talk about him in a couple of
We'll
months.
talk about him much later. I think my Omnitrix toy as a kid had Ben Wolf. I had like an Omnitrix toy. It was like the original Ben 10 Omnitrix, and it was like you turn it on and then have like the alien silhouettes, and you could press it and it'd make the noise.
I had the what was it? The Alien Force Omnitrix, and
I
you had
wish
to
I had
buy
the
like
Alien Force Omnitrix.
the Alien Force Omnitrix. Basically, like the Ben 10 action figures came with these like little like crystal
Oh, and
like
then you could
tiny
put them in the
figurines. You put
Omnitrix.
them on the Omnitrix, and then the Omnitrix like clicks on it. Like you push the Omnitrix down with the little silhouette in there, and then the Omnitrix says like the name of the alien for you. And I remember like
Big chill.
as a kid, I realized that it was fraud because I put in like my brainstorm thing, right? And he was
Yeah.
like, Jet Ray. I'm like, no, he's not Jet Ray. This is Brainstorm. What the fuck? And then I realized it was like it had to do with like the little notches that it has, and it just like clicks into the right spot of the watch to say the right name. So I could just
You
like
clicked it in wrong and it said Jet Ray.
yeah. So I could just like or like I think it was like the plastic was bent or some shit. But I realized I could just like put in like a toothpick and get it to say like other ones. I hacked it. That was the
You
first thing I
hacked
ever
the
hacked.
Omnitrix.
I hacked the Omnitrix.
And for you, it didn't go terribly wrong, like it does for Ben
Yeah.
in Alien Force. Do you remember that? Like his Omnitrix works perfectly at the beginning of Alien Force, and then him and Kevin try to pull some bullshit, and it starts malfunctioning again, like it used to.
I do not remember that.
It's entire like Ben basically has like perfect master control at the beginning of Alien Force, and then him and
Yeah.
Kevin try to hack the Omnitrix, and it fucks up again.
That's hilarious.
But I had the original Ben 10 Omnitrix as a toy, and it had all the silhouettes. It was just like a device, and you would turn it like it's the real Omnitrix, like it had like you spin it around, and then had all the silhouettes, and you press it. I don't even remember. I don't think it even said the alien names. I might be wrong about that, but I think it just made like the sounds like
Yeah.
yeah.
Did it do like the timeout?
I think it did.
That's super cool.
Do 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 do. But anyway, so an old lady eats a fly. Ghost Freak is freaked out. Then Marty takes the golf cart, starts driving super fast, makes a weird effort to dodge the sprinkler that's going off around him. And then he's doing shit. So Ben decides to investigate. Where Marty eventually arrives at the village dumpster. And he has a rolled up carpet. And instead of opening the gate like a normal person, he just stretches his legs and walks over.
Yeah, he walks over the gate like
And then
fucking Plastic Man.
he opens the trap door under the dumpster. And just as Ben is like, I gotta figure out what's going on, he accidentally, or the Omnitrix times out and he turns back to Ben. So Marty sees him and starts screeching and attacking him and shit. And Ben escapes using the golf cart, but Marty's catching up. He's too fast. And they have a fight. It eventually ends in Ben crashing the golf cart. And Ben is down. Marty is completely undamaged and has Ben in his grip until the sprinklers go off and Marty gets scared away. So it's like, ooh, what's going on here? What kind of wacky water-related shenanigans are going on here?
Yeah, he's horrified of water for some reason.
And then he cuts back to we cut back to Vera's house where Ben is recapping to Gwen and Max what he saw. And he's saying we should go fucking bust into Marty's house. And Max is kind of mean at Ben, or kind of upset with Ben because he snuck out and it made Vera sad. But Max is like, all right, we got to go investigate this alien thing, I guess. So they arrive at Marty's now abandoned apartment. There's nothing out of the ordinary except for the missing rug, which Marty had. I mean, he had something rolled up in it. Spooky.
That is
And
pretty
then
spooky.
the nighttime comes, and Max is like, "All right, we can't do anything else. We can't do anything about this today. It's nighttime. We got to go to bed. I'm gonna take an early walk, and then we'll deal with this in the morning." So that happens.
That was such a weird detail. It was like obviously a plot device to explain things
Yeah,
later. It's like, I'm
exactly.
gonna take a walk early in the morning
Yeah, I'm gonna
tomorrow.
take a walk early in the morning without alerting either of you that I'm awake and around, and then we'll do it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
um, and then Vera gets attacked by a blob during the night. Then the next morning, Vera comes into the kitchen and she's kind of acting the same, but just weirder. She's speaking a monotone, and she's still pinching their cheeks, but it's a little too hard. But then it gets real wacky when Gwen spills some water and she freaks the fuck out. She's like, "Clean that shit up."
She does the splits and like how do you describe what she did? She
She like dodged the water by
she like
doing the
dodged the
splits.
water. She like did the splits in the air and like stuck to the wall with her feet, and her legs like stretched out to like an inhuman level.
Yeah, so Ben's like, yeah, she's totally one of them. So Ben and Gwen go sneaking around the neighborhood. Which Vera leaves the house to quote unquote go find Max.
Yeah,
And then Ben and Gwen sneak out to see what's going on. And then Ben, he decides he wants to take another look at that trap door. And then the fake Vera meets with the fake Marty in an alleyway, and they discuss the quote gestation of the pods.
gestation of the pods.
And some sort of transportation. And then Marty mentions Ben and Gwen, and Vera's like, they're not old enough to eat. And then Marty's like, no. They expect too much. We gotta get rid of them.
Ah,
So Ben and Gwen are looking for the trapdoor. They pass by two old women who are playing shuffleboard, and they start hissing at them, and they knock their shuffleboard pieces into them, which they start running away. And then they run into Max, but they immediately figure out that he's one of them because he's being all wacky. And then he tries to attack them. There's some cars thrown, which they squish Max, and Gwen's like, "No, Grandpa Max!" And then a green goop comes out from under the car and reassembles into Max. So it's like, okay, this is not
yes,
actually Grandpa Max.
they got Grandpa. It's
And
essentially
then
the sentiment there.
Ben and Gwen arrive at the dumpster, and then Ben transforms into Wild Mutt and moves the dumpster, and then Wild Mutt tells Gwen to open the door, and like he does it in Mutt speak, and Gwen understands it, and she's like, "Wow, it's kind of bad that I speak Mutt now."
That's pretty funny.
Yeah, so the trapdoor is this big long tunnel. Wild Mutt picks Gwen up and puts her on his back and starts running. They're going fast. And then Wild Mutt and Gwen find this weird series of pathways. They try to lose the old people, but the one who's impersonating Grandpa Max gets the jump on them. But then Wild Mutt beats the shit out of him, and then Max is like, "Oh, you don't want to hurt your grandpa, do you?" Which distracts Ben enough to get his ass kicked. And then Gwen's like, "No, he's not real. He's an alien, and we fight aliens. Get him." So Wild Mutt fights Grandpa Max and the other weird alien old people. Fuck. Okay, Wild Mutt starts running again. Gwen gets mad because he's going too fast. And he's like, no, something going on here. Something wacky's going on here. We got to figure it out. So they run into this alien ship, and it's got all these fucking pods and shit that they were talking about, the gestation of the pods. And they look in the pods. They see it's all these old people. They free Grandpa Max, and they have a little reunion. But then the fake old people show up, and they unmask their true forms. They become weird blob-like creatures
Just
called
like
called
puddles of
Limax,
slime.
apparently.
Limax.
Limax are aliens that tried to infiltrate Vera Tennyson's retirement community.
I Limaxed with your mom last night.
Whoa! Wait a minute. Oh, okay. It's just implying. It said the Omnitrix had a sample of Limax, but I guess like the lore implies that anytime Ben fights an alien, the Omnitrix picks up its DNA sample, even though he never actually uses it. So technically, his
Or like
Omnitrix would have a Limax sample. He just never uses it.
he can't he can't use it because
It's not unlocked, but it's
Yeah.
in there. This is in one of the video essays too. Apparently, like by the end of Omniverse, there was technically, I guess, according to some sort of lore, there was 1 million aliens in the Omnitrix, but Ben only had access to 71 of them.
damn, he needs to download the ROM. He needs to
Download the ROM of the alien.
the ROM patch.
No, no. The ROM is the alien. The patch is like the ultimate form. Ultimate aliens are just ROM hacks of the alien.
Yeah.
But anyway, so they're fighting the blobs. It's not looking good. But then Gwen goes further into the ship. There's more pods. The Limax are worried because they're getting in their ship and shit. So the Limax are like, we gotta fucking beat these guys. Ben turns into Heat Blast and tries to fire them. But then the Limax are like, we love heat. That's why we invaded the desert, you fucking idiot. We love fire and heat. Get fucked. so bad.
Did we
bad
even mention
idea.
that they were in the desert?
Yeah, they do.
No, did we?
Oh yeah. I guess the old people's home is in a desert. Is an important thing.
They're in like a suburb in like fucking
I said that Ben complained that he
New
was hot as
Mexico.
fuck, but
They're in
308
Albuquerque, New
Negra Arroyo
Mexico.
Lane.
Yeah.
But so the Limax all morph into one big guy. So Heat Blast still tries to fight the Limax, even though fire has no effect. He just tries to like punch it. Gwen and Max are trying to unload the pods and save the old people. Which the giant Limax just like spawns a couple more of them to send after them. Which they knock Gwen over and her water gun falls out. And the Limax are like, oh fuck, oh shit, oh no. And then Gwen's like, and she shoots them with the water and they dissolve into puddles, which is when they realize that they're weak to water.
Ah, yeah.
Oh,
It took them until then to
figured
realize
it
it out.
The Vera would dodge the water. They got Marty who avoided the sprinklers. They hate water. So Heat Blast busts a pipe open and dissolves the Limax, and they retreat into their ship, which has no more pods, and they leave. And then Ben and Gwen and Max are like, oh shit, we gotta get all these people back home. How are we gonna do that? And then Ben's like, I got a fast guy. And they're like, oh yeah. So that's where
Like,
that
wouldn't-
ends.
Even if you could move extremely fast, like accelerate, wouldn't that be pretty like intense labor? Like carrying like an entire city of old people back
Sure,
to their homes
Ben's a superhero.
in one night.
We'll do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the next day, we have Aunt Vera saying her goodbyes. The newly not alienized Aunt Vera saying her goodbyes to Max and Ben and Gwen. Which she gives Gwen one of the gelatin molds. She's like, Ben told me you love these. Here you go. And
Gwen.
she's like, what?
Gwen told me you
No.
loved these.
Ben told Gwen. No. Ben told Vera that Gwen loves
Oh.
the
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot. I had them mixed up.
Yeah. So
You're right.
yeah, Gwen gets a gross mold. And Vera's like, I hope I didn't bore you too bad. And Ben is like, actually, I had lots of fun. Wink, wink to the camera.
Yeah.
And then they drive away.
No. Before then, there's a pretty funny joke.
Wait, what was the joke?
So earlier in the episode, Aunt Vera, like when they first come, Aunt Vera asks Ben what he's been up to this summer, and he's like dealing with alien life forms, and she's like,
yeah.
"Oh, you." And then at the end, she's like, "Hey, what?" She's like, "Don't
Good
get
luck with
any.
those alien life forms.
Good luck with those aliens." And then like the joke is like, "Oh shit! Like, is this
She
the real
knows.
Aunt Vera? Like, does she know?" And then
No, I think the implication is that she knows. Like the real Aunt Vera knows about.
no,
the Omnitrix.
because then she's like, and then he's like, "Are you kidding?" He's like, "You're kidding, right?" And she's like, "Yeah, of course." Like, I feel like
I think that no, what they're trying to imply is that Aunt Vera knows.
you think so, but how would she know?
I think they're implying the real Aunt Vera is somehow aware of the Omnitrix, which would track later in the series when they realize that Max is a plumber and most of the family's in on it.
Oh shit! Huh.
So yeah, I think they're implying that Aunt Vera knows about the Omnitrix and aliens, or at least aliens, and assumes Ben is fighting them in some way based on his description.
I assume that Aunt Vera doesn't appear in the series again, like
Um,
in any of the later
Let me open up the Aunt
iterations.
Vera article. Well, she has an Omniverse design, so I guess she was in Omniverse.
Probably in a flashback.
um, Apparently she actually appears in the episode Clyde 5, and then she appears in a flashback in the Most Dangerous Game show. So she does come back for one episode
Huh.
for real.
Interesting. I can't wait to see that.
I can't wait to see that in 2 years.
I can't wait for you to see it in like a week, and then tell me about it.
No, I'm not watching Omniverse anymore. I'm watching Ultimate Alien.
Oh.
Fuck Omniverse.
Oh yeah, and there's one other thing that happens
Oh
in
yes,
this
and as they're
episode.
driving away, there's a goop guy, and he's like, "I'm still here, haha."
It's
And
like,
that's
oh,
it.
yeah. And then it never gets, that idea never gets
That
revisited.
idea
And
never
we
gets
never
revisited or resolved.
we never see these aliens again. I'm sorry. I hate to be this way, but like, why is it that like everywhere that Ben and Grandpa Max and all these people go, everywhere they go, there just so happens to be like some alien shit going on. Why?
I mean, Ben Tennyson is a trouble magnet. He's a menace.
He's not a menace. He's a threat.
Threat or menace.
I was listening to you guys talk about Ben 10 on the MoCast.
On the MoCast, yeah, there's the J. Jonah Jameson guy from Ultimate
Yeah.
Alien.
But you really like, I feel like you needed to defend yourself when Mo was like, he talked about Teen Titans, and like when Robin was like, yeah, well, obviously Teen Titans is better than Ben 10. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, that's
Ben 10
not
is
true.
Ben 10 is so much better than Teen Titans. I like Teen Titans. In fact, I love Teen Titans. It has a special place in my heart, but it is not as good as Ben 10. Like, Teen Titans gets like credited for being so like deep and emotional and shit. I never really felt that. It's not that deep. There's just like basic like human emotions in it, and they do good with like emotional scenes and emotional plots and shit. But it's not like so like nuanced, or like, like, it's not anything that hasn't been done before. And not that that's a bad thing. It's just like people act like it. People act like it's like this super revolutionary show that's like so unique.
For sure.
I guess the bar is set pretty low for early 2000s cartoons.
I don't know about that. I think early 2000s cartoons are pretty good.
Yeah, I just so happen to think that cartoons from exactly when I grew up just so happen to be the good ones.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just a coincidence, bro.
Well, a lot of these shows I never really saw as a kid. Like Spectacular Spider-Man, I didn't even know about until recently, and that show fucking slaps.
I watched the shit out
I
of
say recently
Spectacular
when I mean like
Spider-Man
5
back in
years
the day.
ago, but like it was not. I didn't watch it when I was a kid. I rediscovered it like in like 2018 or something.
Yeah. I don't know. I think we still generally have like nostalgia for that time period. Like, I never really watched like Ned's Declassified School Survival Guide as a child because I hated live action kids shows as a kid.
Yeah,
But I there's just like an extreme feeling of nostalgia when I watch that show. Even though it was literally like, that show came out in like 2005, like 1 year after I was born. It just felt like a fever dream watching it.
yeah,
An emotion that can't be described just by it being a good show.
understandable.
But
All right,
anyways,
wrap up
there's
thoughts before we get into our questions. Any general final thoughts?
I'm not watching more Danny Phantom.
No,
That's it.
that's
Bye.
not about this episode. That's about breaking my heart and making me sad.
Well, you're breaking your heart, but you're also breaking bad.
Fuck up, Jesse. I'm about to break bad.
Jesse. I just love saying Jesse. So funny.
Jesse, we're not breaking bad anymore. We're fixing good.
Have you seen the that video that Quackity made where he got fucking Dean Norris, who plays Hank Schrader, to play Minecraft with him?
No, but that's epic.
He like doesn't know how to use a computer, and it's really funny.
My
And
brother-in-law, Hank
he
Schrader.
he just refers to him as Hank Breaking Bad throughout the video, which is really funny.
Yo, Hank Breaking Bad.
Literally exactly like that. So I'm here with Hank Breaking Bad. All right, but yeah, no, I don't have anything else to say about this episode. Do you?
All right, not really. Favorite character?
Favorite character? I'm gonna probably give it to Ghost Freak.
Understandable. This is the debut of one of your
Actually, no,
favorite
no.
aliens.
I
Okay.
changed my mind. Favorite character is the old lady that ate the fly. Because
Oh fuck! She
that
kills
scene.
Bug though. She killed a bug.
Listen, it's not real. Okay, it was that was so funny, and when I was a little kid, I thought that was like the funniest thing ever. Like I would literally like rewind my fucking DVD of Ben 10 season 1 just to like watch the lady eat the fly, like jump on the ceiling and eat the fly. It was so funny to me.
That is pretty funny. I don't know who my favorite character is. It's kind of hard.
That's what your mom said.
Can I say it's the ice cream guy based on his one
Yeah.
line, which is the funniest line in the
Yeah.
show?
I mean, considering that for the next few episodes, it's literally just going to be like the main cast and a few one-off characters, I wouldn't feel too guilty about, characters that
Alright,
only appear briefly.
my favorite character is what the wiki refers to as parlor worker.
Parlor worker. First name Parlor, last name
I have the
Worker.
real quote here. It says, Gwen says, "What do you have that's non-fat with less than 3% sugar?" And he says, "Napkins."
That's so funny.
I love that joke. Favorite scene. And
Favorite scene?
yours is probably the fly, right?
I mean, like realistically, like I don't think that's the best scene, but like it's the scene that is like resonates with me the most because I have so many memories as a child just watching that scene over and over again. So it's my
What's your
favorite for
real
sure.
answer? Oh, it's your favorite. Okay.
Yeah.
My favorite scene is probably just Ghost Freak running around town, like trying to
Yeah.
find fun shit to do. Because that's what you would do with the Omnitrix if you were really a 10-year-old kid.
Right.
Just like he's running around at as like this terrifying ghost creature. He's like, I want to do something fun.
Yeah.
It's really fun, and it's a kind of scene that only Ben 10 could do. It's good. That's my favorite scene. Rating out of 10. This is a 10 out of 10 episode. This is like one of the episodes I think of when I think of original Ben 10.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna give it a 10. It's always been one of my favorites.
Fuck yeah. 10 out of 10 for Ben 10. I hope we give it. I hope episode 10 is a 10 out of 10.
Yeah, that would be
So
pretty
we
funny.
can give a 10 out of 10 to episode 10 of Ben 10.
On August 10th.
But October 10th.
Fuck, did you just do the math or what?
No.
Oh,
October 10th would be 10/10.
Yeah, 10/10. I see what you mean.
Which apparently they premiered Ultimate Alien on October 10th, 2010. 10/10/10.
I didn't know that.
Which was I think it had kind of not as good of ratings as it usually would have. I don't know if this is true, but I know they did do it on a Sunday morning, which is when a lot of kids are in church with their parents. So
Yes.
But it was 10/10/10. They had to do it. The gimmick was too good to pass up. All right, that's it. Show's over. Get out of here.
All right. Links in the description
No,
for
don't
us,
say
guys.
links in the description. That's not true. Where can they
What do
find
you mean
you
it's
on the
not
internet?
true?
Did I put your links in the description?
I swear to God you did.
I might have, maybe.
Hold on. Omnitrix
No, I think because I
Radio.
just copy and pasted it from your Spotify upload, which had the links. So yeah, probably.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, so links in the description on
YouTube,
where you can
Spotify,
find us.
SoundCloud, and Twitter, bitch.
Hey,
You can also
hey.
find me. You can also find me anywhere. Just look up Demigloom. DEMIGLOOM. Hey.
Telenym.me/Demigloom.
Yeah. Actually, no. Don't go on telenym.me/Demigloom because I don't own that account anymore.
What do you mean you don't own it anymore?
I can't sign in,
Oh,
and somebody might take the username if I'm inactive. So I don't want to plug that.
understandable.
like Dark Sapo. I don't want to plug Dark Sapo.
If you want to ask me questions and a guy named Andrew you've probably never heard of, go to tellinhim.me/bglg. Big guy, little guy.
All
Lying
right.
to them on a podcast. There
Bye.
you go.
Show's over. Not funny. Next bit.
L plus
Bye.
ratio. Next bit.
All right. Go
For
listen
Omnitrix
to-
Radio, I've been Riely.
I've been Demigloom. Go listen to the Riely Live Movie Review Podcast, Breaking Bad Season 1.
Season 1. Hell
It's
yeah.
coming out on July 31st, 2022.
Is it?
Yes, we're doing it right now.
Okay. See you next time, folks.
Bye.
Are you still alive? Well, I just heard.
Yes. 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 Sorry.
Hello?